Are you trying to tell me that people don't like you? Oh, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Serious Shenanigans. I'm your host, Valerie Lorraine, and beside me over the other way is our producer, Quentin Ford, and he's hanging around with us for a few minutes so that, he can, I don't really know why, it just happens, so he insists, and show doesn't happen without him, so we let it happen.
Hey, what's
Okay,
going on, Val?
you
How's
know,
everything?
that's good, it's good.
Episode 11 here.
I know, can you believe we made it that far?
I actually honestly thought the board was going to come down and tell us after episode probably 6 that it's no more show. I really, you're holding on. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're holding on
I know
here.
how I'm holding on. Do you know how I'm holding on? Because people have actually been really good with their feedback. And I know that it got back to the board that people are actually, they're tuning in, they're watching on replay. And so, the numbers can't, like, the numbers are helping me out.
I kind of think you're being generous, but we'll see. So who we got tonight coming up?
I have Erica, who is She is the Wild on Instagram. And I'm very excited because Erica and we got it going on. So it's going to be a
So
good show. Yeah.
hold on. Slow
Yeah.
down, slow down.
Okay.
Got to get this because I need the board to hear exactly what we're saying.
Right.
Who do you have on tonight?
So She is the Wild.
That's her name.
That's her handle.
What does that mean?
She's pretty wild. So you're just going to have to,
Is
be
that
prepared to rein
is
her
that
in.
is that in a good way or a bad way?
You're going to find out.
Well, Val, one of the biggest things is usually when you'll tell me about a guest, and what I'll do is I'll look into them a little bit.
Yeah.
So tell me how this Erica, she is the wild, how this amazing woman, she was just in this big contest, huh?
Right. So Erica was going for this Supermom contest, and it was all about the Children's Hospital. So she was helping to raise money for the Children's Hospital, and it was really great. She was doing really well. She has a very popular channel on Instagram, so she has a lot of followers, a lot of people who are really um, really there to support her, not just take advantage of looking at her work on IG. So
So I'm,
um, it
I'm
was
quite sure
great.
you guys are going to get into that. That's a
Yeah.
great thing. That's one of the the when you're doing a lot of things with children, and if they're namely your children, a lot of times people don't realize the task that a lot of the mothers go through. I know I had did a show with three amazing women, two shows before. I did two shows with three amazing women, and all their children are like special needs,
Oh yeah.
or
Okay.
we would say the little people. And they're actually, from what I know, all three of them have all three of their children are awesome children, and they really, really, really. I don't think nobody really knows what they go through on a day to day basis with just trying to, as we would say, be normal. And then as their children get older, they may still need the same amount of care as young adults as they needed as children. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes the way that they explained to me and taught me a lot about it, I don't think most people understand what they go through. So
Right.
I'm quite sure that Erica, or She is the Wild, which is a very interesting name,
Mhm.
I'm quite sure she's an amazing person. So we'll
You're about
see.
to find out.
She's gonna be here shortly. We'll see. She's in the dressing room trying to get it all together. Reminds me of back in the day when Carol Burnett was still performing. When
Right.
Carol Burnett would do shots to the dressing room, and Carol Burnett would be back there doing what Carol Burnett did. Yeah. For those that don't know, Carol Burnett was my favorite comedian as a kid
She's
till she
amazing.
got too old and she stopped performing. But
Yeah. That show
without
was
further
great.
notice, Val, have a great
There we
show
go.
and
Thank
see you
you.
later. Her volume, Val, your volume is down again.
I left her speechless. That's why. I left her speechless.
Yeah, Erica, something goes on with our system sometimes, Erica, where her volume will go down, which is a very
Yeah,
interesting thing.
yeah.
This happens, and I should have warned you ahead of time. So what happens, unfortunately for you guys get to just sit there and watch Erica, and then Val jumps right back in.
I know that's what happens when I jump on the screen, though. It just, I make everything go blank when I come on, and then Val was left speechless, and then all the system shuts down. So
It
that's the
happens. It
that's the
happens.
effect of She is the Wild. I mean, we know this, Val. I mean, come
We
on.
do. We do. And we have to adjust, right? So, and I've learned this.
Exactly.
It
I'm so glad you
happens.
did, and I'm so sorry for that. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. You know what? Life happens. I don't need to be felt sorry for. I'll manage all on my own. So Erica, I'm so happy that we were able to find the time that worked for us both so that you could come
Oh
on
yeah.
the show. Because, just being able to share your story with our viewership is huge to me. We've done a few things together on Instagram, and to be able to bring it over here to this channel means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, thank you for believing in me and being so supportive. If it's one thing I've learned, it's you have very few friends that you can count on, and you're one of my 5 besties in this little world that I live in, and you're miles and miles away. But I know if I ever need you, you're just a phone call away. And so, thank you, Val, for always believing in me and being so special.
Well, thank you for that. That was wonderful. So I'm most proud of the fact that I printed my questions. They're extremely legible. So we're going to have a good show. I don't have to guess at what I wrote. So
You're like, I printed big with big letters.
Yeah, I did. So people may not know this, but my questions are always extremely tailored to my guest. They're not generic questions. They're very much meant for my specific guest. So my first question to you is, tell us what gives Erica the motivation to be She is the Wild.
I think the biggest thing about my persona as She is the Wild explains what I feel like a lot of women have gone through, and that is just finding out who they are inside exactly. I think the world tends to be very loud and likes to tell us who we should be, and that we shouldn't do this and we shouldn't do that and we shouldn't say that, and we better be careful if we say certain things. And when I became She is the Wild, it didn't matter anymore. It's like, I know it's still me, but when She is the Wild is on, it's like she doesn't care what anybody thinks. I mean, she respects people's boundaries, of course, but she's the type of person that is vulnerable and is free to express who she is. And then you realize, well, you're not the only She is the Wild out there. There's so many women, and even I've had some men that just relate so much to the persona of just being able to be themselves in a safe place. And I feel like that's what I have created, without judgment, without feeling that you're going to get attacked. So I love what She is the Wild represents. I mean, it's being yourself. It's being free to speak your mind, free of speech, and feeling safe in your own feelings, and knowing that it's okay if you're not okay. Instead of people telling you all the time, well, you should just have your together, what's the matter with you? Why do you feel that way? And you're always so depressed, or you're always so angry. It's like people are going through these lessons in life, and we need to respect them and just help them along instead of always just judging them and making them feel like their feelings aren't valid. So She is the Wild is somebody who has come a long way from her own strengths and failures. So yeah, I love what I've created with that. It's been an amazing experience so far, because there's so
far so good.
Yeah.
So I wanted that question to supersede this one, because logically, logically, the other question would be asked first, but I wanted to get the background about, that part of it. So now, She is the Wild is your channel, or your persona on Instagram, and tell us about that, what do you do over on Instagram that your handle is She is the Wild? Explain what you have going on over there.
So, She is the Wild. Well, like I said, it creates a safe space for people to go and channel in. If you've ever been hurt, if you've ever been sad, if you've ever been happy, if you've ever been angry, if you've ever been in love, then that's where I started venting and creating a space where I could feel heard without judgment. And even though we know judgment's always going to be there, right? But it really did. It ended up being a place where I could channel my feelings. And then you realize you're not the only person that has those feelings. And I ended up writing constantly. I was writing quotes, and then it would be a little bit of poetry and a little bit of sassiness and just a little bit of everything. And I just started writing, and I started inspiring, and then I started getting messages from women and men and telling me how it has helped them through their divorce, their sickness, their illness, their depression. And now it has turned into a place where people feel safe and they can be themselves and like it and feel good, and feel heard and not feel like their feelings are invalid. So that channel has blossomed in the last, 2-3 years. And it just has gone. I have the Facebook, I have my Instagram. There's a Twitter floating around. I don't use it too often, but those two main channels have just blossomed beautifully with so much love and support from millions of people all over the world. And you get, like I said, quotes, poetry. I love music. Music's a big part of when I write. I feel like the music turns the words even more deeper, because when you find the right song, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I write, there's a certain song that'll come on and you're like, oh yeah, that just kind of like goes together. And so people love that. People love when you mesh things up, and not only that, but it inspires them. So yeah, my
It
page has
does. It
really
does.
grown.
So I'm going to just throw this in. So congratulations on having a very
Thank
celebrated
you.
page that's so successful and relatable. That's the
It
charm of it. It's beautifully relatable. Um, is there an event or a catalyst that provoked you to strength, or did you just come into this world like that?
One more time, one more time, one more time.
Is there an event or a catalyst that provoked you to gain your strengths that you have, or were you born into the world like that?
I was definitely born into this world a very, very gentle soul. There were a lot of things I didn't understand at a very young age, how people could be so cruel. I didn't know. And when you're so young and vulnerable like that, you like to believe that there's good in everybody. So the way I was being brought up was kind of like this safe haven. I was very overprotected all the time. A lot of things weren't explained to me at a very young age. We didn't talk about certain things. So for me, I learned at a very young age, because I was bullied through my elementary years. Going into junior high was not a very good experience for me. Again, because I didn't know, I didn't understand. And I felt like now that I'm like of age and you realize, and I'm like, shoot, like those people have problems, and you just didn't know that at the time because you're so young. And so it brought me into a swirl of always needing to find validation. It ended up being an issue where I was trying to find the validation from other people instead of looking within and finding my own validation. And so I became what we call a people pleaser. And it strung me into a whirlwind of, I had like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like recreated myself once all that was over, right? The bullying and all that. And so then I ended up getting into failed relationships. It was like one after another, again, because you always want to see the good in people, right? And so you build off that. And then I ended up getting into one relationship, which I'm still in. Okay. Which I'm still in. But it really set the tone of where I started to find my voice at the age of 34, 35. I started realizing that I was hurting myself. and not speaking my voice. Again, people pleasing.
Right.
So, and that's when I started reading a little bit more, reading into poetry. And I was always a lover of quotes and just diving into this self-love afterwards when I went through a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that there was a lot of power there that I wasn't tapping into. And it was like this self-love motivation when I started writing. And after that, my strength got stronger. It's like I started to not just write words, but they were words of truth. And so all of those things that I was writing, I realized like that is me. Like it was like a light bulb, like ding, like now you get it, honey. Hello, where were you? Like, what's the matter with you? Like you were missing the whole boat. And so I felt like the universe kind of came in and said, this is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with you. There's a lot wrong with the world, but there's nothing wrong with you. You've just been through some bad experiences. And that's where the strength has come in. And I'm not always strong. I have days where my thoughts can be overpowering. But I think it's better to be honest than to lead people into a facade of BS that isn't true. And I think when you're more vulnerable in that state, you get more strength from it, and people even get more inspired by it. And so even when you think you're weak, you really aren't. Your vulnerability is your strength. It is a big part of being able to accept that there are certain issues that you need to address in your life. How can I be better? How can I be stronger? How am I going to overcome this? And by the time you know it, it's like the strength just builds up. Mm-hmm. And now it's not only strength, it's like the sense of purpose. And now what am I going to do with this purpose that's been given to me? I was like, you know what? I'm going to go inspire everybody else because that's what makes me happy. Right. That turns me on. And God, it's such a sense of fulfillment when you see people light up inside. When these are business women, all types of people walking into your little showroom on Instagram of quotes and poetry and music. And they tell you, oh my gosh, I needed that today. And you look at them and you think, did they really need God? You're successful, you're beautiful, you're strong. And there's like, oh my God, you don't know how much I needed those words today. So, you know, all I can say is it's been a hell of a ride. And I'm so grateful that I've experienced it. And I just can't wait to see what happens in the future. Like I really am. She is the Wild has come a long way. And the strength is just amazing. It's just a whole other type of faith and strength that I have now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to share one of your pieces. As you get that ready, I'm going to do the things that I do. So you go ahead, get ready. I just want to welcome everybody to the station. Thank you so much for joining us. I see those people who are able to log in. If you're logged in, then you are absolutely available to make comments, and they are saved on the screen. For those of you who are watching who aren't logged in, we welcome you just the same. This is Let's Talk on the YouTube station, and I'm Valerie Lorraine. This is my guest, Erica, of She Is the Wild on Instagram, and our producer, somewhere airy-fairy back there, is Quentin Ford, and he makes this show happen. And you know, he protects me from getting canceled every time they threaten. So we like him. We like him.
We like him.
Yeah, we like him. I'm going to hand the mic over to you, and I'm going to let you share one of your pieces with us.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite pieces. It's called Resilience. No one gets to tell you how to heal or how to love. You learn to set boundaries, and the word no becomes your new best friend. Falling in love with the skin you are in, and given the chance to embrace every imperfection you carry. Honesty and a gritty realism of reality that we won't always have it all together. Own your story. You might get it wrong 100 times before you ever get it right. But there is a sense of resilience when you see the fruits of your labor come to be. She is the Wild.
Beautiful. Love the strength and all of that. So
I
wonderful.
love it. I get a lot of love for that one, because that was at a time where I realized for the first time you have to learn to say no, and it's like it's okay.
It's
Don't
okay
need
to
to
say.
feel you don't need to feel bad.
I think there's something more important for people to realize, that no doesn't require an explanation either.
Yeah,
No, I'm not willing to do that. It's good enough then. No, I have to go to the store. I have my kids around. I've got, like, no, it's just a no. It's a flat
right.
out no. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think
Yeah,
there's a lot of levels to learning and being okay with something. And I think that's the beauty of what your Instagram channel and your Facebook, but
yes.
my home base is Instagram.
Yes, it's definitely Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. What you offer, and that why you are so wildly popular over there. So this question leads right off of that. What gives you the biggest feeling of connectivity with your audience?
One more time.
What? I
For the
know
people in the back.
it's a real strange concept, but what gives you the biggest feeling of connectivity with your audience?
I would say the biggest connection is just being able to relate with them.
Mm-hmm.
That has been like the biggest connection ever. That you get to relate with mankind, with people, human beings, not your business associate, not the nurse, not the practitioner, not the creators on Instagram, human beings, people with feelings.
Exactly.
That is the biggest connection, and it is a beautiful one. It is a beautiful one. It changed my whole perspective on what I thought about people. It's like, I hate to say that way, but when you're bullied like I was and humiliated, you think that everybody's just like, you're always on the defense. You're always like, oh my God, what are they going to do? Or what are they going to say? Or how are they going to look at me? And then you meet these people that feel the exact same way, you know, just without the title, just human beings. And that connection is wonderful. I'm very blessed to be able to have that with so many wonderful people. Yes.
What's Erica's next big move?
Well, right now, I don't know if I can mention it other than I
You
have
can.
an amazing, I can, okay, just the amazing publishing of the anthropology book that we have in the works that
Okay.
there's so many beautiful writers are a part of. So that I'll let Val talk about that a little bit later with you guys, but it is going to be published and it's going to have some wonderful prompts in there that I was really, really challenged with. And I told Val, I was like, dude, I don't think I could do it. I was so scared because like I got through most of them, right? And I'm like, how did these other two? I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, but it made me have so much more respect for the writers and the type of writers they are, for being challenged so hard. And then by the time I knew it, I got through it. I was like, okay, I made it. I was like, I made it. But it was such a beautiful experience. And I felt like when you have people push you like that and challenge you, it builds more character and it builds a bigger, what's the word I'm looking for? It just builds a bigger dream, a bigger universe in that part of it. So that's going to be coming out, and so I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait till Val publishes and does all the beautiful magic. And then of course I'm still working on my first book. I'm still working on it. I haven't given up on it. And that one is going to have a collection of my best pieces that I've written. And so I felt like that was the best challenge I could give myself because, as you know, Val, I am a full-time mom.
Right.
I work. I'm a wife. I am a provider. And so with all those things going on in my life, I'm this is also a big part of it. She is the wild. And so I have to fit everything together. And not only that, you cannot rush. You cannot rush. And I love that you've always made me feel, good about what I'm doing and that not to rush things, because when you rush things, it just doesn't turn out the way you want it. And so I've realized that if it's taking its time, it's taking its time for a reason.
Exactly.
Even the anthropology book that we've been working on, I didn't think I was going to get through it. I was really nervous, and I was like, no, I can't let them down. And it's like, if I let them down, I'm letting myself down, most of all.
That part.
And so, yes. But then I went through this dry spell where I couldn't write. I just wasn't feeling it. And then all of a sudden, like in 2 days, it was like, what does this word mean? Let me look it up. Like super cheesy, right? But it's true, because I mean, some of the writers that I'm in there with, they have amazing vocabulary, and they're just like, what does she mean by that? So I'm like, no, I want to know what that means. And it becomes this intense writing session that, like, for 2 hours later, I'm like, damn, that was really intense.
Right. But the beauty of that whole exercise that we went through as we were doing the anthology is that like the basis of the whole thing that came together was that, steel sharpens steel, and I could see everyone reaping the benefits of that.
Yeah.
So, and I know everybody else felt that and saw it as well. So it was really beautiful. But it was beautiful from my point of view to see you challenging yourself,
Yes.
right? In writing in a different way, and it was fantastic. I loved watching that.
Yes, it definitely was, because if you go through my pieces, a lot of my stuff is like hard but soft words, and so to walk into this room of amazing writers, because they are all amazing. It's just so beautiful. I was like, huh? Like, what are you doing to me, Val? Like, why did you ask me to be in this book? And then I finally understood why, because people have their own way interpreting things. And it's a beautiful thing when somebody can take something and turn it into something else. And then you read somebody else's piece and be like, oh my gosh, I totally get where she was going with that piece.
Yeah.
So you get these different perspectives and different thoughts and beautiful creative thoughts. And I'm just like, damn. And you put them all together and it's like, boom.
Well, and I think the beauty is that everybody belongs, right? Like,
yes,
everybody's style is different. And I know that there was times when, without making this about all of that, but there were times when everybody felt kind of like, oh, but I'm here too. And yes, everybody belongs here.
Yeah.
Right. And and I think that statement encompasses your page and your mandate of what you're trying to bring. That's the feeling that I get, is that you are speaking for everyone.
Yes.
And that is the beauty of what you bring to your page.
Oh, thank you.
So on that, who influences or motivates you?
Who influences me or motivates me? God, I haven't thought about that in a long time, But if I had to say, in my most recent years, and what I find most inspiring and that motivates me, of course, it'll always be my life and my experiences and people, I think you've become one of my best influences that walked into my life, Val. Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of the writers that I've had the privilege of meeting have been a great influence on me, because they show me not to give up and to keep going and to believe in myself and to believe that I can write my book and finish. I think my partner, my husband, he's been a great influence on me. I think he's shown me to look at people in a whole different way. And I say that because we are two different people. We are not the same.
Yeah.
And walking and going into his world has been an experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also so disciplined in the way he does things and the way he works. And that's also been a great influence for me as well. And just being honest with you,
what that is amazing, because we are all different, and we're meant to be all different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so walking into his world was a huge turning point for me, because I always thought I was right, and then I found out I wasn't, and I was like, what the hell? What do you mean I'm not right? What's the matter with you? But he opened that window to say, hey, you need to listen more. You need to listen. You need to pay attention to people, and you need to pay attention to how they feel. And it's just been an amazing experience so far. But my hero is always going to be my mom and my dad. They're always going to be my number one heroes. I was adopted at a very young age. I was 1 year old when I was adopted, and they took me in, and they just showed me what it was to work hard and to believe in who you are. They weren't given many opportunities as we have now, but they definitely paved the way to show that you can do anything you want, just if you believe in yourself. So yeah, I would say that's where I'm at right now. I wouldn't say it's a celebrity or a certain poetry writer. It really isn't. It's just ordinary people that influence you. You know what I mean? At least for me,
Yeah. Well,
and especially when I'm mad at them, just be like, oh, I'm gonna go right. Oh.
Well, and you know what the thing is that there are outside influences, maybe famous people who have some influence or motivation for us. But generally speaking, it is the tangible people in our lives who do, even if we're not really, even if we're not completely in the know of it, they are the ones. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want you to give us another one of your pieces.
Oh, okay. Let me see what. Yeah. Probably.
So while you're getting ready, everybody, we're so happy that you're here. We would love it if you would like and subscribe to our page. We've got a lot going on this. Well, it's not a page, it's a channel. So like and subscribe to our channel. And then if you don't mind, hit the notification bell. There's not just my show going on. I know it's probably the only one you're interested in. It's the only one I'm interested in. But all kinds of stuff happens on this channel. So you hit that notification bell and you might find out there's more than just me here. Anyway. And hand it over to Erica. She looks all ready.
Okay. So, as you know, I write a little bit of everything. So it isn't always about just, strength and overcoming. I do a lot of love pieces, relationship, pieces also. And so, this is one that was kind of in that vulnerability state of, God, I just wish, although it's for real, but still in certain moments when you're dealing with your feelings, you just don't know, So, this is called Looking. She isn't looking, but healing. She's not desperate, but longs for deep conversations. A passionate, charged queen who can wait for the one who sees the beauty of a nurturing soul, whose desires run high when in the arms of the one. She is the wild.
Beautiful. Oh, such beautiful words. All right. So with hearing that piece, what legacy do you hope to leave this world?
My legacy. God, it's so funny you said that, because I was thinking about that maybe not even a day ago. And I was like, if I leave this world, what would I be remembered for? When people look at me or they think of me, what are they going to remember? And I would hope that I would have left them with a little bit of hope and love and strength, and knowing that I inspired them in some way, that even if for a brief moment I was all they had at that moment when they were hurting, and that opened their eyes to feel comforted, that I touched people's lives in one way or another, and in a creative way, in an inspirational way, in a loving way, and just to be remembered for being a good person, that's just staying humble, that's the kind of legacy I want to have and I want people to follow, to be there for other people, to show up and find your purpose.
Yeah.
Don't give up like that. Find your purpose. I always feel like what I found, what came to me. No, I shouldn't even say found, what actually just came to me eventually when the time was right. The purpose of being able to tap into people and hear and listen, and really be there, which I feel like we miss a lot out on because we're so tied up in electronics and personal issues and work and the way things are right now in the world. So that's my hope, that I leave a legacy that people will always remember how I made them laugh and inspired them. That is definitely one for the books. Yes.
Well, you can check that off of your list. Check. Next. If you could bring anyone from the past, the present, somebody who is and I'm going to give you a couple somebodies because I know people get stuck on this question. This is the one question that I like to take through most of my shows. So if you could bring anyone from the past, from the present, somebody who's very influential in history, to lunch, to have a great discussion, who are those few someones who you'd be inviting to your table?
Oh my gosh. Shoot. Damn. How? Okay. You see, you should have told me what the questions are going to be, so I could have been ready.
Nope. That's the point.
My mind's blank, and I'm like, who the hell would I have? Lucille Ball.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
totally would. I grew up watching like Dick Van Dyke, Lucille Ball. Would definitely want to have brunch with her and just get inside her mind and what inspired her to become an actress, because she made people laugh. She made people feel good. Just a wonderful.
And she was also business minded, though.
Yes. And I think that's where a lot of people like misunderstood her, And so I feel like that would definitely be one that I would love to sit down and talk with. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big, cheesy. I know it's super cheesy, but I would love to sit down and talk with Elvis Presley.
Yeah. There you go.
I would love to get inside his mind and be like, what happened, bro? Like what? Like what happened?
Right.
Like just curiosity. Like I would just want to get inside his head, and sit down and talk with him. It's more funny for me because these people are just like, one's music and one's, an actor. And then, Elvis was an actor too, but his was more music, if anything. Right. And if I had to like go back, God, super cheesy, Albert Einstein. Yeah.
You're not the first person who said that here.
I would definitely want to sit down and sit with Albert Einstein because you know what? Like in my mind, I feel like he was a really cool dude. He was probably like one of those people that you could really sit down and have a conversation with, and he would probably just like blow your mind and be like, "What?" It's like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he would be an interesting, and without I mean, geez, he had a place in history that stretched beyond science. He really became a cultural icon. So that in itself, that part right there is the part that makes me want to speak to him. Because there was a lot that went on. Even getting into the time of life that he was around.
Yeah.
So and the people that he actually wound up connecting with politically around the world.
Yes.
Is pretty significant. And yeah, I think that it would be quite an interesting conversation.
I definitely would. I think we'd be there a couple hours.
I don't know what you're going to serve for lunch that day, but I would like to be invited, okay?
Please.
Right. Just, yeah, I won't take up. I'll listen. I'll do a lot of listening. Um, what do you think your audience hopes that you will do next?
Be on the Tonight Show with David. I'm just joking. It's
Well,
even
there
still
you go.
on.
There you go. We're gonna start getting
Hey,
you
I'm
to
dreaming
tag
big.
him. We're gonna tag him in this. And when this is
You're
posted,
gonna send him the live, like, hey,
we are.
just, you know.
Yeah, you can be on my next guest.
Didn't he retire though?
Well, he's got that show now. It's called My Next Guest, and
Right.
yeah, right.
You're right.
So
You're
yeah,
right.
you need to start
Bump up
tagging
my
him,
dial.
right? Yeah, no, he's
No, I
that would
really
be
am just gonna work on finishing my book and have the collections of my greatest pieces put together. That way people can have them right at hand and right at heart. I think it's not only important for them to have that, it's most important for me to finish that. Shows a sense of accomplishment and publishment and, you know, paid for by the universe. And that's my first goal right now, is just finishing my book. Yeah. And then we'll go from there.
we'll go from there. One thing
We'll
at a
go
time.
from there.
Let me
One
cross that
thing
off
at
my
a
list first.
time.
If
Eventually, I
Erica,
would love to do more lives. Eventually, it'd be nice to do lives.
yeah,
But I kind of like just being your guest too, Val.
always welcome. There's never a time that
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, but I love my little baby steps. It's working out pretty good for me, so I'm happy.
Well, you know, we're happy too. We're always happy when you show up because there's we always know it's going to be lots of fun. It's going to be lots of interest, you know, which is the important part. And I say that very delicately, but also kindly because, you know, as much fun as and great conversation as we can muster up,
Yeah.
you know, we like to have great audiences who support us because that's what we're doing all of this for, right?
Yeah.
Is not just to waste our own time, but to generate some
Exactly.
interest and you know, it's not just it's to highlight the people or the events that we come to or we bring to our stage,
Yes.
which hits us for our next question. You set that up so beautifully for me. So we were going to talk about you being an advocate.
Yes.
So you
Okay.
decided that you wanted to advocate for something, and you really did a lot of research and came up with the Children's Miracle Network. So tell us a bit about that. And you know, I mean, I know a lot about it, so I can poke the bear and get what I want out of you. But I what I'm looking for you to tell everybody is, you know, we want to hear what you did because it was pretty amazing.
I would have to say it was probably by far one of the biggest challenges I've ever had to do in a really, really long time, other than just trying to write stuff. uh, so I saw this thing pop up on my Facebook, and it was for a competition for the Super Mom Challenge. And at first I thought, well, it's like super cool. It's like, wow, you know, the mom gets 20 grand and, you know, she gets a weekend in Palm Springs and, you know, you get published in a magazine. And of course I thought, well, that's just all so wonderful. And my head was like up in the clouds. And then I kept writing, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this is some serious shit. This isn't just some, sorry, I said it. This is cheat.
You
So
can say it. You can say that. We're allowed to say shit here.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I started reading more up on it, and then I started feeling like, well, maybe I can. Maybe I can make a difference. Maybe my voice can get loud and turn some heads. And so I realized that the Children's Miracle Network was involved, and it became I almost became almost obsessed with it. It just totally changed my perspective on what people do to help people. I don't think I had ever been so challenged in my life other than when I gave birth to my kids. because trying to convince people to donate to a cause is not the easiest thing to do. I realized that the Children's Miracle Network, had over, was it, I don't know if it was 40, I can't even remember the number, hospitals between Canada and the United States that are in the program itself that help families pay for medical bills and expenses, home expenses as well. And we're not only talking about, yes, kids that get sick and they have cancer or they're diagnosed with something serious. We're also talking about those moments that were unexpected. There was one incident that normal day for a kid, he's 15 years old going to gymnastics practice. And he literally fell wrong and he paralyzed his whole body just by falling wrong. And so the anguish and all the time and the therapy that he had to go through for years just to be able to get up and walk, I mean, there's just a lot of things that we don't think about that I think we took for granted. I think even I took for granted. And so I started reading more and starting hearing more stories. And I was like, I can't give up on this. Like, if I give up on this, I'm giving up on a lot of things. Like, I just didn't feel right. So I kept pushing and I kept pushing. And some days were really discouraging. And then I was like, you would come in like, hey, you got to get creative. Let's go. And da, da, da. And Val would like push my go button. And I'm like, damn it, Val. I was like, gotta keep going. And then when I got with you, you kind of came in and also started sharing your story with me, and LG also, and I was just like, damn, like this is big. This is bigger than all of us. This is, and if it's not the Children's Miracle Network, I mean, it could have been practically almost any organization that is helping families do what they need, or So, but for me, this one really hit home. You know what I mean? Because before, when I was a single mom and, my daughter had ended up in the hospital multiple times. She's very little, my little one, and she's very fragile. And so she would get sick really easy. And so when you end up in the hospital during the Christmas holidays for like, 3, a month or 2, I mean, it's exhausting and nobody there to relieve you, nobody there to help you, And you think about all that extra money that goes to the hospitals is because of that, to help families, to see them through those hard times. So for me, it was a beautiful experience. I ended up finding out because I received an email maybe 2 days ago. They raised over $2 million. Over 2 million. I couldn't believe, I was in shock. Because I thought they were going to come back with a number of 500,000 or something. $2 million was damn. And these were all moms. Everybody that was in this competition were mothers. They had kids, and some of them had sick kids too. So it was a wonderful thing to be a part of. I loved what they created, an atmosphere of moms supporting moms. And so I put myself out there. I held a raffle. We did the poetry live night. And that was an amazing experience. I had never seen so many beautiful writers come together for such a wonderful event. And, giving their donations. And I don't know. I took a lot away from that night. And we thought it was only going to be an hour, Val. Remember? We're just it's probably going to be, an hour. We were there we were going 2.5 hours.
Actually, we were there. We were 3.5 hours. We were coming close to the 4-hour mark. And yeah, it was overwhelming, the response that we got. And I was surprised. In all honesty, I was surprised, especially when we were able to total it up. We had in that short of time, just from our little IG community who wanted to come up and support, and some people had said that they would do that, and other people joined along the way, and everybody had to donate to perform, and there was no amount, but we raised $1,400 in that time to put towards your cause.
Yes.
Which was you in this competition to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. And it was it was a beautiful testament to the fact that we know that they do good work. And, you know, we didn't touch any of the money. It all went through links that went
Yes,
straight to the
exactly.
hospital. So there was no question. And there was no question. And that was, I think, the easy part for the
Yeah.
community. Not that they had any reason to mistrust us, but there was no like, hey,
But
we're doing this. Give us the money and we'll give it to them. It
well, to show
was,
the authenticity
yeah,
of what was
yeah.
being done.
Mm-hmm.
And that made it so successful.
It
And
did.
just the writers, oh my God, it was so awesome. It
It
was so
was.
awesome, guys.
It
I
was.
can't even tell, if you have a chance to go to the playback, because we do have it on our IG Instagrams. I mean, it was such a beautiful night.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe. I think at one point I had to pause and go. I was like, "No, I'll be right back," and go to rush. Like I couldn't do it, and so I'm still so grateful for that. I mean, would I do it again? Yes. Would I do it tomorrow? Probably not, because I got
No,
things
you
to
need a
do.
little breather.
But it was a great lesson. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about what needs to go into it. And so if the challenge ever does come up again, it's like I feel like I'm going to have all kinds of new strategies going on.
Absolutely.
And with such a wonderful support group like you and the best friends that I have back home in the Valley that were just like, no, got this, and got this, you can win, you can win. It was just such a beautiful attitude to have so many people rallying around me, but most of all rallying around the cause because they believed in it too.
Yeah.
And they just believed in what I was doing and giving back. And so I think the total amount I raised was about $5,000 total. And you think it's real little, but when you're trying to convince people to donate, guys, is no joke.
Well,
It
and you know,
is
a lot of people doing, like, if you think about $5,000, think about how many people, you know, they donate like 10 or maybe $20. So,
exactly.
you know, and some of them might have done that a few times, but still the point, like getting to $5,000, $10, $20 at a time. And yes, maybe
Yes.
somebody jumped in there and did 100, but even still, that's
Yeah.
still, if everybody gave 100, that's still 500 people doing that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
Exactly.
but it was beautiful to watch you do that challenge and give of yourself, because that was a lot of work. And you
It
know,
was.
we'll let the cat out of the bag. You didn't win, but you did win in other ways, right? So
I definitely did.
you did.
I gained so
So
many beautiful people. I met a lot of people that started following on Instagram. Mothers who were in the competition. We're just going back and forth talking like, oh, did you see so and so? Did you see, like, oh my gosh, where are you at? I was like, I don't know, where are you at? Like,
yeah,
it was
exactly.
fun. It was challenging. And I think it's important that the most important thing is just don't give up. Don't give up. Don't
Yep.
give up till the fat lady sings, pretty much. You know, there's a reason why that quote was made. Don't give up till the fat lady sings,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen. You can do anything you want. And I did want it. I did. And when I got discouraged, and I know not everybody has that, but I was fortunate enough to have people that were there to motivate me again and said, hey, remember why you started doing this? Remember why you started doing this? And so I play back those videos and I'm watching the videos of the kids and I go, that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So until it's my time to tap out, I'll keep going then. We'll keep going. And that awesome show we did was just one for the books that I'm always going to carry with me. It's such a beautiful memory. And I hope we get to do something like that again.
Oh, you know, yeah.
I think and I even told you, because I was like, you know, I feel like in the near future, there's going to be a few more because it opens the door to the writing community to do a lot more than just write. I feel like it shows a sense of, you know, yes, we're writers and we're creative writers. And, you know, of course, and some of the writers are involved in community activities. I know that. But I felt like it opened the door to a whole other aspect of our community. And so people will take notice and be like, oh my gosh, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing over here. Like, that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and
People
we're using
loved it.
yeah. So not only are we inspiring people in creative writing and writing books, now we're turning it into like, oh wow, they're raising money for this awareness. Look at them go. Like, And people noticed, and people noticed. And when we were there for 4 hours, I was like,
Just about.
damn, I was like, I think I'm gonna shit myself, like, if I don't get applause. And just, so thank you to everybody that was in that show, by the way. I mean, I didn't stop saying thank you like for 4 hours
I
because
know,
I
and
just felt
it was really
overwhelmed.
cool. It was beyond cool. Just gonna plug in here, so I'm gonna move my camera a little bit, but so what I wanted to do now was I want to we're gonna move into the shenanigans part of the show. But what I always do is I ask my guests, I thank them for being so candid
Oh,
and going deep, because we did a deep dive. But is there anything that you would like to add? Is there anything that maybe I didn't ask or you would like to say to let people know about Erica?
huh. No, I think you covered all the bases. I mean, if you want to know more about me, all you have to do is go to my writer's page. That's all, really. My thoughts, my feelings are there. I share it with the world. And literally, it is the world, because there's people from all over the world that tap in. And that in itself is a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
If anything, guys, I'll be around. I don't plan on going anywhere. There's a lot that I am inspired to do, and just ready to get out there and not only prove to the world, but prove to myself that I can. I think it's the most important. When you were raised kind of in this thought of, you're just a mom, right? Because I mean, I had my oldest is going to be 19 in July. And so I realized that there was so much more to me that I missed. And so I'm super excited to keep growing and to meet more people and just blossom and keep blossoming. I don't think you ever stop learning. I don't care how old you are. I feel like I'm a student right now, and the universe is just doing with me what the hell it wants. So like, it's all good. So yeah. I mean, and if you ever have a question, you can always message me. My inbox is always open. People know that. I always tell them, they think like, I didn't think you were going to answer. And I said, why wouldn't I? You message me, But
And
if
it's
you're
really nice
overwhelmed,
because I mean, I'm doing this show, and the reality is, I'm reaching out to people all the time, and I'm reaching out to people who are in our community who I want to know more about, but I'm also reaching out to people who are outside of our community, and I'm finding out that some of these people are not accessible,
right,
and I knew that was a possibility.
right,
Right? I knew that. Like I'm not stupid and by any means, but I knew that was likely to happen. But it's really nice when we get the people who come back and they are accessible to us, even though their profile has grown to this really big place and they're doing really well. They are still accessible to us, and
yeah,
that's a
it's
beautiful
good
thing.
to see that. It is good because
Mhm.
I feel like being able to interact with your audience is a beautiful thing.
It is.
I think they feel validated, and it shows them like, oh, you're a real person. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a real person and I have real feelings. And I was really mad that day when I wrote that. So yeah, I was, you know, and I think they're kind of just taken back, like, oh shoot, like, okay, cool. Well, it's so awesome to chat with you, and you're such an inspiration. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, well, you are very much welcome, and thank you for believing in me and what I write. And I just always try to show gratitude, because you got to stay grounded and you got to
Yeah.
stay humbled. And it doesn't, at first, I think maybe in the beginning it was a big thing about the whole like, well, I got to get a lot of followers and I got to get it. I don't even care anymore about any
Yeah.
of that. Not when you have
No.
these women and men messaging you, and they tell you their stories and their feelings, and then you realize, oh girl, you're at a whole other level. Like, this ain't about no follow or who, is, I mean, liking your stuff. It's just an amazing feeling to touch people. And that's what I said. It's being able to connect with humans, just human beings. And
Absolutely.
that has been an amazing experience for me. Really, really has. Yay!
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to close off this serious part of the show.
Okay.
So everybody, my guest tonight has been Erica. Her handle on Instagram and Facebook is She Is the Wild. It's there in the caption. It'll be captioned when we post this show. So if you're one of those people who are like, wow, I have not connected with She Is the Wild yet, then we can't wait for you to do that, because you're going to be really inspired. So I'd like to thank Erica for coming and joining us once again. We are going to
Thank
move
you.
into the portion of the show where we have some laughs. So we're just gonna we're gonna play stupid games, and we're gonna win some stupid prizes. Well, you're gonna try anyways, right?
I'm gonna try it. I don't know how
try.
successful we got this, but we'll
and
see.
There's some of them are surprises, so we'll just see what happens. So
okay.
First question, are you a dog or a cat person?
Okay, if I had to say I have a dog,
Okay.
my persona would be Kitty.
Oh, okay. Is it you gonna have some protests break out over that now?
You might. If my husband sees the playback, he was like, yep, she's definitely a kitty. She's a kitty
okay
cat.
all right. So if your dog could talk, what would the dog be able to tell us that like would wreck our image of you?
What would my dog say? Oh my gosh. I don't think he would.
No.
He's a mama's boy.
Oh, okay, so
I'm being honest. He's a mama's boy. But if you like had to blackmail me or something, he'd probably say how I get up in the morning and
now I can't wait. Now I can't wait. I want to hear it.
And how my hair is an afro with this curly hair. But I can't really think of anything he would say. He's just such a loyal dog. Like, he is super loyal. I think the cat, if I had a cat though, that bitch would betray me.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way they are. Worst date, weirdest thing that happened to you?
Worst date or the weirdest thing that happened to me?
Either. I mean, it could be the same thing, right? It was the worst date because the weirdest thing happened to me.
The weirdest thing happened to me. Jeez, you're making me think here, Val. Shoot, everybody's pretty chill. The weirdest thing that's happened to me. I was at work and I had a patient hit on me. But the patient's like 85 years old, so.
So you didn't set up a date? You're like, no, it's okay.
He's kind of on oxygen right now, so it probably wasn't the best thing to do.
Okay. Right.
He can't keep up.
All right. So, gummy bears, do you eat the heads or the feet first?
The heads.
I just knew it.
I answered that too fast.
You did. I just knew it. I was like, you know what? She's vicious under it all. She's vicious. All right. Name a few words that are spelled so foolishly it makes you mad.
It makes me mad?
Yeah.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Okay.
And don't ask me to spell it because I can't.
My next question. That was going to be it, but you got me there.
Was it?
I said that was going to be my next question, but you got me there. For that, you played the game, right? So for that one, we have some Colonel Sanders for you, but you have to be able to spell that. So,
what?
You won some Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders? Oh my God.
There you go. How many times have you sneezed in the last 2 years?
My allergies have been pretty active.
Okay.
You said the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that. I was like, why she want to know what I said the last 2 years?
We want to know.
Does that include boogers or no boogers?
It's kind of up to you. Like, I didn't clarify I didn't clarify.
Oh, damn. That's like, I don't know. 500,000 times.
Oh, okay. And is that more or less than usual? More or less than previous years? Just
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll keep tabs for you for the next show, Val.
Thank you very much. That makes me happy. Who is the worst person that you could imagine being on screen yet? Not me. If
The worst person being on screen?
Yeah, who is the worst person that you could imagine bringing on screen?
Being on screen.
Gang.
Was that a clue?
I don't know. Just Star. But she's delightful. I can't hear you.
We can't hear her. That must be something that Mr. Can we hear you? Do you have a pause?
Oh, I was on mute. Oh my god, sorry. I was saying, I was there. I was all smart. I was like, yo, gang. I was like, heard it's wild up in here. Heard she's wild up in here. I had to jump on, gang. What the one?
I know. So we're gonna carry on, but yeah, we needed a visual. So the question was, we wanted to prompt your answers there for you.
The worst probably be on screen would be, I don't know. I don't have Just Star.
Gang.
All right. Do you do accents?
I love you, Just Star. You're delightful.
We know. We wouldn't have let her up if it was a problem. Do you do accents, Erica? Are you good at accents?
I am.
Okay, good. So British accent. How about some tea for two, please?
Wait, which is the British one? Do you want some tea? Do you want some tea?
No,
do you want crumpets?
That was pretty good. I like
crumpets.
For the fact that I've had some guests on here that could not pull that, I'm pretty okay. So how about Australian? Put some shrimp on the barbie.
Some shrimp on the barbie. I'm going to go Australia.
We're taking like the downhill. Crikey. Okay.
Crikey, mate. Come on now, Valerie. Crikey, mate. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Come on now. What are you doing now? Yo,
okay, hold on. This one's better. It's getting better. Just start. You're going to want to hear this one too. So, Erica, could you please give us in a Chinese accent? Just wait. In a Chinese accent, you would like to order some chow mein and some fortune cookies, please.
And I like the chow mein and the fortune cookie, please.
I think you've been getting your nails done, man. That sounded a little bit Vietnamese, but
that'd be more like, honey, wait, like, honey. You want to?
Okay, last one, because you're doing really good. So I'm like kind of.
I help Erica out though, because you know what? I think I know you, but you're having wrong.
Hell no.
Oh God.
Okay. East Indian. You want some hot curry?
Hot curry.
Yeah, can you do an East Indian accent? You want some hot curry with that?
Shoot.
What about the I can't take it. No, I need your party.
No, it's gonna sound. They're gonna sound the same.
All right.
Okay. Hot curry for your food.
No, my answer's Erica. I'm sorry, I love you, sister, but no.
So for that, Erica, I'm gonna give you some gummy bears, but I've already chewed the heads off of them. So.
Oh, that's so messed up, dude.
What is the worst interview? What is the worst interview you've ever taken part in? Present company is excluded from your answer.
I haven't though.
See?
You know what? I'd be lying because I have yet to have a bad interview yet because Val is just a freaking star, man. She is like the queen of lives for writers all over the place. So I'm blessed to have not experienced that.
Did you hear
You
that,
know?
Star? She is.
Yeah.
She's a really good interview. Just letting you know, Star. All right. What instrument makes the funniest sound in your opinion?
What instrument? Oh, jeez. The trumpet.
All right. Let's hear you imitate it now. You know what?
That
I'm
was
just
good.
gonna say that was so good that I almost thought you were voice like that you were lip syncing to dudes.
to his story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like wow.
I need to go work in one of those studios where they
You
do the
do.
sound effects.
You do,
And
and
they
a
just-
British accent is okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Just a couple more questions, but this one.
Just
So
a couple.
Is it true that you started a rumor about Jess Star just so that she would get more interest in her shows?
It's true. I secretly started sending secret messages to people,
Right.
and telling them that she would give them a token for every time they would show up and like her.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to say something else. I'm glad you didn't give away everything. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They took tokens to mean something different, so you're on the hook now.
That's the bad thing, Valerie. You don't know what she covered up for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go.
We don't see no evil. Mm-hmm. No.
All right. So you are now a burglar, but you only steal things that slightly inconvenience your victims. What are you breaking in to steal?
That slightly inconvenient them.
Right.
Let's see. I would take their car keys because they might have a spare.
Feels like a big inconvenience. Feels like a very big
I'm gonna take their toothbrush.
Yeah, that's an inconvenience.
I'm gonna steal their deodorant. And then I'm going to shut off the hot water. Oh, I can't steal that though. Let me see what else
I like that addition. It wasn't a theft, but it was like definitely an inconvenience.
Valerie's like, trying to you just.
I take the batteries out of the remote.
I thought you said outside else, they take the batteries out their dildo. They'd be putting them in. That's an inconvenience.
I would
for a while.
I would jack the Wi-Fi box. Take that.
Ooh.
That's vicious. Everyone's so upset like now. Look at everybody's face like
that in the car. Those are not. Those are like
the car keys. It's not inconvenience. That's like real. That's messing up shit. Like you took it to another level, and then you went and took the Wi-Fi. Come on now, kids will be killing themselves. You can't do that.
I know, right? Like that's some punishment going on over there. Like but she's giggling, so we're okay with it. Do you know what this is? Do you know what that is?
I can't see it. What is that? What is that?
You know what this is?
What is
the internal lock for an inside door?
Right. Okay.
Right. So this is your prize.
Woo! I needed one of those.
You actually will need one of those because when we're done with the show and you go to leave the room you're in, you're gonna need it. Just saying. Quentin, you have been recorded.
You drop in the vault, Quentin.
He might be sleeping.
That was a good one, Val. That was totally a good one.
Thank you. What do you call a male ladybug? Oh, a little late. You woke up.
What do you call a male ladybug?
Right.
A mini bug?
I think they might be mad over that ounce.
My baby boss.
Because it says lady already in the title.
Mine, I'm the father of that baby boss. Boss. I'm that baby daddy.
So just start. You've been here before. I'm betting that you have a question for Erica.
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let me think of a really good question.
All right.
Oh,
so-
Lord.
Be here.
You know what? Some people just go off the Christmas card list just like that. Do you know that? So, what would persuade you to put yourself through this pain to be on this show today?
One more time.
I just wondered, like, what you did in the previous life to deserve this punishment. What put you through the pain? Why did you decide to come on here today and be put through this punishment on this show?
Because
Bad week, you want to finish yourself? Are you feeling bad? Did you do something wrong? Have you got a DUI? we don't know about?
She's doing penance.
this is my penance. This is my penance. So when I get reborn again, I'll be doing lives with Val again.
Oh. Fucking
Get it so that she can meet you again in her next life.
Yeah.
Yo, don't
Yeah,
get me
just
in the
start.
same as you lot mofos. Yo, I'm going with my G, you get me? Oh, top of the gang, you know what I mean?
I know.
I tried to let you be with the gang. It ain't my fault. You ain't listening, you know what I mean?
Good one.
You know what? We have so much fun here. We're gonna chatter for a few minutes just because we've got the three of us on screen. But what we're gonna do is make sure that you get some prizes because we love you so much here. And Quentin's given me like a really small budget, so we know that you need this to get out of your room. So we will be sending
This is the budget.
you.
It's like
Shipping and handling. Shipping and handling is completely on you. But
Woo!
get it back to you. The other thing is we have a gift card for you. So we have an Amazon gift card for you.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's a big one. I was able to get a little extra out of the board this time. So and people are going to be jealous because you're getting like the most ones. So 30 cents.
Woo!
Don't spend it all in one place. Or
No,
you know what?
no. Oh, Valerie, how much did you say?
30 whole
30 cents.
I'm
Just
so when I was on it was like 12 pence. Cents.
I know.
Pence. Yo, you know in the UK, yo, so that's like 47p or something.
No, it's yeah, it's not. Your money's worth more than ours. So, but and then
So
you know,
excited.
I haven't given one of these out for a long time, so I feel like it's okay to do it because you know. So we have a slightly used dryer sheet to send to you.
Oh, that is
And it's
wonderful.
still useful, right? So
Yes.
put it in somebody's gym
I'm all
bag,
for recycling.
right? And it's useful, and it's
Gang.
It's perfect.
yeah, I know, right? I know.
It still smells.
Some people like the gifts here, just are. Some of them. Some of
You're
them.
using it. It's like you're using auto incorrect. You're saying the wrong words, Valerie. No one, not some. No one.
English technically is my second language because
I know
gibberish,
English is my first language. That's why I'm letting you lot know. Stop trying to change the language. Like, you keep changing the words. Yeah,
you know, gibberish is my first language. So
I
know. And see,
understand what she's saying.
Gifted was a guest on our show, and like she's like 30
I
cents.
know what she's saying.
Whoa, she's like
Quinton, the producer, could you put subtitles up when Valerie's talking, please? Because I'm getting really behind. Sorry.
I don't know. Oops, she pressed the wrong button. She pressed the wrong button.
was like, wah.
So we have a few more minutes, but what I want to do is I just want to say, you know, the one thing that I really appreciate. So like we're done the game. This isn't a joke. We're back to, you know, our closing remarks. And the one thing that I have come to appreciate. So one for me, it is, you know, an age thing, which I hate to say, but it is the truth for me. But it's also an opportunity thing. And I have met some of the most beautiful and brilliant women in the last couple years who I believe have become, not only have they become friends for the time, but I believe that they will be friends that endure time as long as we have a social media connection way to communicate, because we all live so far away. So, you know, I just want to say that I value that. And there's two of them on screen and there's a few of them in the room. So I want to be able to say to those women right now a very big thank you. And the fact that they are in my circle, they come on the shows, they're supportive on screen, they're supportive behind the screen. You, Erica, just Star and others, but Erica is my guest tonight. You've motivated me in moments when you never even knew it, and your support has been just above and beyond, above and beyond. So I would like to thank you for coming on this show and enjoying the time with us today. It was wonderful to get to know you in a different light and let everybody share that light and know more of you. So, and as well, you know, have some of the fun and the laughs. They're always there for us, but people don't get to see that part.
Yeah. So I thank you so much, Val. It's always an honor to do lives with you. It really is. It's always a good time. You always are able to connect with people so wonderfully, and that is a God-gifted talent. That it really is. Because did you hear that? Did you hear the story? Play that back, please. Play that back. Okay. Hello, is this thing on? Play it back. But no, and it's been a hell of a ride, you know, and I look forward to doing a lot more lives because
gang.
I need to get with Just Star over here. Just you're in the way, Val. Move. He's trying to get Just Star over here. So yeah.
There you go. Look what happened there. That was
you're gonna put like my cutout.
It's almost like there's a god up there called Quentin, like moving things around.
Quentin's on the ball there. I thought he was sleeping. I thought he was sleeping, but he's
doing something. God knows what he's doing.
He's doing shit over there.
But I love what you do, and I love the Shenanigans guest show, and I think it's wonderful because you get in depth with some wonderful writers, like I said. And like I said in the beginning, it's like when you did that show and I was supposed to go to bed and then Gifted came on and then I fell in love with Gifted and I was like, just like, I was like, damn it, Val. But you know, that's how you get to, you know, meet new people, you know what I mean? And get inspired and you get to follow them and you get to see what they're up to and all the creative work that they're doing and community stuff that they're doing as well. So I definitely think it's a great way not only to meet new writers, it definitely is opening the door for many opportunities for people to connect. And that's what this is all about, is connecting with beautiful people, beautiful hearts, beautiful minds, creative people. And it's just amazing. And it's a blessing to be a part of it. So thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
You know,
I'll be waiting for my knob in the mail, please.
Well, you know what? You'll get notified because all of the shipping. It
reminds me of the Who's This, What's Its Gadgets.
Right.
I feel like I need a go gadget. That's what that looks like.
I know. I might have broken it. I might have broken it when I took it out, but you know, it's
Barry didn't know what it really was used for.
You did.
Yo, can I just second everything that everyone's just said? Sorry, like, and thank you so much for letting me be part of this. I know, like, it's Erica, she is the Wildlife Show, and Valerie's show, obviously, and like, thank you for letting me be part of it because, you know, Vibe you lot and Real Talk and everything you've been doing, I rate, I respect, and I'm all about that. And I don't know what else I was going to say because my brain forgets, but you know, it's all love, it's all family, it's all vibes, and I'm just grateful to be here. And like, literally everything you said, like, big up to Valerie. Gang, yo, gang. Come on,
I wanted to be different, Just Star. I was like trying to be like one.
Oh no, but I do mine like everyone does their different. I do mine like this to get me, gang. Yo,
it's like okay, so there's this one.
She got that. I just want to let you know, don't do it that way, Erica, because the way that she does it, she's like got that from when she got handcuffed by the police. So.
Oh, okay.
No.
That makes sense.
On Valerie. See what I mean? Like. Nah, but yo, vibes. Everything Valerie said.
Like I'm throwing a gang sign here because my fingers are in the way. So do I just?
Yo, you do whatever you want to do, Frederick. You get me? I know what. Remember, no should. You should never should be doing anything. You should just be doing what you want to do. You get me? That's the only thing you should be doing.
Did you hear what she said? She said, "I'm trying to do the gang sign."
Yeah, but this
Valerie,
is like a cat though.
Don't try too hard, yet. Like, you know, just don't try too hard. Like, guys, it's way past my bedtime. That's why I appreciate it. It's 3:55 a.m. in the morning. But yo,
gang. Yeah, we're used to you being up at these whacked hours.
Oh,
I don't know. Just call me Wacko, Jacko. I hang babies over the windowsill just for fun.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to ask
Shall I
you to
go? So
hang
you
on.
can end the show because it's Erica's show and I'm like interrupted very
Thank you.
much.
Oh, it's
Love
always
you.
a pleasure to
All
have
love.
a star. You're
Thank you.
wonderful.
Nah, thank
Love
you,
you
Erica.
so much.
You know I love you. Feature in my show
I
soon,
know.
everyone. Yo,
Yeah, just so you know. Yes.
gang. Thank you for letting me be part of it. Love.
So what we're going to do now is we are going to ask you to hang on because we always do the little after party where nobody can see or hear us online, but we're going
Will
to...
there be drinks?
Yeah, there will be drinks. There will be lots of gummy bears, headless ones, and
Woo!
so woohoo. But we'll just ask you to hang back there. I'm going to bring Quentin down and we're going to close the show. And thank everybody so much for joining us. So this will be captioned soon. Thanks, Erica.